No, fool! I wish to grow 10 whole centimeters. And that's what his wish is, chat. You want to grow 10 whole centimeters. And the guy goes, okay, why? And he goes, because I want it to look natural. So his reason is the same as Bulma's, which is a great gag. He's just as vain. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content on my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games. I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon, where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video. We must start. We must start our review. And I have a very, very important question to ask you, chat. Typically, I like to ask you, how many of you have watched Dragon Ball, either the original anime, Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball Broly, chat? I'm very curious about this. You know, as a child of the 90s, I did grow up in a lot of Dragon Ball content, both the original anime and eventually its sequel series, Z. Not GT. I did watch a little bit of GT. I was like, this is not nearly as good. But I did watch that. Let's see. King Kodiak, I have. Tuchescu, I've seen it, but it's been years. Batchu's like, me. Nia Brownie, maybe. Joe Halcyon, not me. Fila, me. Mike Howard Stern, I've watched it all twice over. Damn, there you go. That's when you have a super fan chat. Edman's seen the series, not the movie. Let's see here. Sage Snake, only Dragon Ball Z. V's like, I have. Brando, haven't seen this movie. James, I have seen the OG and it's badass, but not Super Broly. Watched some episodes, Dragon Ball Z, and played some games. I definitely played the games too. The Elite, I watched Dragon Ball Z years before that shit came out in the U.S. Years! Damn, man, we got an OG fan. I watched it before it was cool in the United States of America. There you go. God damn. Windfox, I haven't seen it, but I couldn't get into it. Just seemed never-ending. No, you're not wrong about that. Dan Creeper, original Z, and also a bit of awful GT. Shrek Juice, I watched Z Kai and a little of the original Dragon Ball. So a lot of you guys have seen this, or at least are aware of it, or seen a couple episodes. James, it's over 9,000. So chat. I have seen this movie. I have. I actually, chat, was one of those people that saw it in a theater. I have a friend of mine, chat, who's currently not living here. Actually, he's living in D.C. right now. And I was talking to him during all of this, the Capitol insurrection chat, Capitol insurrection, all that shit was going down, making sure he was okay. Works at the Air and Space Museum. But I went there to watch this with him and another individual, and you know they were big time Dragon Ball fans, and I'd watched Dragon Ball back in the day, Chad. Like I'd watched the original anime. I watched I'll give you my opinions on that in just a bit. It's gonna kind of be overall like just my general thoughts in the series itself, chat. But that's how we'll start this. But I saw Dragon Ball Super Broly in the theater, and it was filled with Dragon Ball fans, chat. It was a really fun theater experience, chat, back in 2018, because these people are passionate about their Dragon Ball, chat. And I'll tell you right now, a lot of this movie, which is an hour and 40, I think it's the longest Dragon Ball movie, chat, on records, hour and 40 plus minutes, and I was pretty impressed by it. I was like, you know what, this is fun. You actually have an interesting, compelling character. Like the main character of the movie, chat, is not Son Goku. It's not Goku, chat. It's not Prince Vegeta. You know, Prince of all Saiyans. It's not Vegeta. It's actually this character named Broly, who has been a part of the franchise for quite some time. Broly was introduced in several other spin-off films, chat, and Broly is just in those movies, he was just your prototypical, like, you know, big muscle-bound guy that smashes stuff, okay? Like, he is your Doomsday-esque character. It's like, you all know about the legendary Super Saiyan. I remember when Super Saiyan was actually a thing that we were never going to see, and now everyone's a fucking all the Saiyans are Super Saiyans now. It's ridiculous. When Goku became a Super Saiyan, it was a goddamn big deal, chat. Oh my god, he's the legendary Super Saiyan, as Frieza once said. Or if he just like, how's that possible? Kakarot can't be a Super Saiyan. You know, all that shit. And it was like, wow. But then Vegeta became a Super Saiyan, then Gohan became a Super Saiyan, then Trunks became a Super Saiyan, Goku became a Super Saiyan. Everyone was Super Saiyan, chat. And one of the other big Super Saiyans introduced was Broly, and he was the chosen legendary Super Saiyan, chat. He was a big deal. He was a big in Saiyan culture, which is a proud warrior race. They have this myth that this Super Saiyan Chad, who was stronger than any of them, would rise up and potentially, either try to. It's weird. They just say like it's this legendary warrior. He'll be able to conquer everything, or the Super Saiyan will bring peace and harmony to the universe itself. It's like, okay, they changed the lore in Dragon Ball so goddamn often, it's hard to even keep track. Matter of fact, they actually contradicted themselves in the original Dragon Ball series about the whole legendary Super Saiyan thing, which is kind of funny. And they even call the one character out King Kai. King Kai, you don't know shit. All right, shut the fuck up. All right, you don't know anything. But that was a big thing. But apparently, Chad, the legendary Super Saiyan was not Son Goku. It was not Vegeta. It wasn't Goku. All the fucking Super Saiyans. No, the true legendary Super Saiyan, at least in the movies at the time, which are not even canon now, I guess. Thank you, Batch of the 5 Minutes. There's a multiverse. I know there's a multiverse. I've done Super introduced. We'll talk about that briefly. The true legendary Super Saiyan was Broly, chat. And to kind of give you a brief background on Broly, he was a baby on the planet Vegeta, chat. It's a Saiyan home world. It's an alien world, That's where Goku's from. That's where Vegeta's from. And he had a power level, chat, so of 10,000, right? And baby's not supposed to have that kind of high power level. Like, normally, 10,000, that's impossible. And King Vegeta, chat, Vegeta's father went, that fucking baby is a problem. He cannot be stronger than me, nor my prodigal son. I'm going to kill that. I'm going to stab that baby. And he's like, don't stab the baby. And because then you got his father, Project, what the fuck's the father's name, chat? I always forget. Paragus. Paragus is the father. And he's like, don't stab my baby. And he's like, I'm going to stab the baby. And he stabs the baby, Chad, and he leaves baby Broly and Paragus for dead. But during the destruction of Vegeta, Chat, by Lord Frieza, stupid monkeys, they escape. And Broly, this is so stupid. So the reason why he gets so angry and powerful, Chat, there's only one reason. This is his motivation originally in those movies and some of the Dragon Ball spin-off films. It was because he was placed next to another little in the nursery, chat, where he kind of grew up, spent his first few days there. He was placed next to another baby, chat, who happened to be Son Goku. And Goku would apparently just never stop crying, chat. He was a whiny little brat, never stopped crying, and this apparently drove baby Broly insane, chat. He just says, oh, he just couldn't help himself. Just drove him fucking nuts. And things happen where Vegeta, Goku, they end up meeting Broly. And apparently the thing that makes Broly go insane is when they say Goku's native Saiyan name, which is Kakarot. And that was a big joke in the series, where every time someone says Kakarot, and Broly goes, Ngh! How he would know who Kakarot is, Chet, as a baby, I don't fucking know. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. But every time someone would say Kakarot, he'd be like, Kakarot! And then he'd get mad, and they have to fight him. And all he ever would say, Chet, is Kakarot, Kakarot. He'd just say Kakarot, Chet. And Broly as a character in the original movies sucks. He's a terrible character. A lot of people like him because he's the legendary Super Saiyan, because he has big muscles, and like no one can defeat him except when we inevitably do anyway, because it has to end. That's they always pull that shit. They always pull that shit. It's like no one can beat him until it's like, well, now you can't beat him. It's like, all right, whatever. And so he's a lame character. He's a lame character, chap. But he remained popular. And you had, Toei Animation, Akira Toriyama were like, we want to do something new with this guy. And so they actually wanted to make Broly canon for the first time, and they had this movie, Dragon Ball Super Broly, chat, which takes place after the events, at least the most recent events that I know of Dragon Ball Super, chat. There's been many versions of the series. There's been the original Dragon Ball. You had Dragon Ball Z, you had Dragon Ball GT, which is kind of not even considered canon anymore. And then you had Dragon Ball Super. And it takes place after those events and also beforehand. It also changes a lot of the history from the original series. And Dragon Ball does this all the time. They constantly contradict themselves and like, we'll just fucking change it. And there's some stuff I really like about this. Some stuff which I'm like, okay, you are ripping off something big here. And we'll get to it in a bit. But I will say, what they do with just Broly as a character is so much better than how he was presenting the original series. Broly is a cool protagonist. You actually care about him. You're sympathetic for him, empathetic for him. Badges think of the fight base. I don't know if you're going to get into it, but leaves way too many. But it leaves way to make GT. Oh, no, I'm sure it does. I know there are a couple things, and they might do it, but they might do a new version. Who knows? I would not be surprised. The series seems to be more popular now than ever. Thanks to clearly this movie and also just Super in general, it did very well, and it's doing very well to this day. But no, I like what they do with Broly is great in this film, and overall the movie's just kind of fun. I'm not saying that like, oh, it's written so impeccably well and the characters have such complex emotions like some do and most don't. But in terms of the animation, which they went back for a good portion of it, chat. They went back to hand-drawn animation for it. For a lot of the fight scenes, this is how the characters move within the scenes. And I was like, wow, this actually reminds me of the original Dragon Ball anime and Dragon Ball Z anime. I was like, aesthetically, it's a huge improvement, I think, over something like Super, which I've seen some stuff from Super. I was like, oh, that's fun. But the animation style is kind of like I've never been a big fan of it. And even some of the more recent movies like Resurrection of Frieza and Battle of Gods. But like I really like aesthetically what they did, and I'd say a lot of the choreography, not all of it, but a lot of the choreography of the fight scenes in the film are quite fun. I always had this is a controversial opinion, but I've never been the biggest fan of a lot of the fight scenes in Dragon Ball Z, and also to a degree in Dragon Ball Super. And the big reason why is I think there was a lot lost from the original Dragon Ball chat, which was based on Kung Fu and all sorts of different martial arts and things. And when you actually saw the moves perform animation, and where in Dragon Ball Z it all became about ki blasts and, charging up power. That's what Dragon Ball Z I think felt, that it got into that trap and it kept repeating that shit. And you had so much filler just around that. And, different power states, different transformations. That's what Dragon Ball Z just dived into. Whereas the original anime really didn't do that. And so something was lost there. But, outside of like the Broly movie itself, chat, before I go into the nitty-gritty details, I enjoy it. It's fun. It's not for everybody. It's definitely not for everybody, chat. But I was definitely entertained by it. I'll tell you my rating in a bit. I'll kind of tell you my overall impression of the original anime. Thank you, Dark Side of the 5 minutes. Usually spend 3 episodes just about. Exactly. It's just like, it's Dragon Ball is rife with filler. Rife with filler, Che. It deserves to be criticized for that shit. Because I was like, oh my God. Like, I can tell you, I watched most of Z back in the day and Dragon Ball. And that's when I fell off, Che. Really, I fell off in the Buu arc. That's when I really started to fall off. But it's like, yeah, I'll tell you as a former, like, oh, no, I like Dragon Ball way back in the day. I'll be like, no, it has problems. There's no doubt about that. But, no, I watched the original Dragon Ball anime, like, way in, like, the mid-90s, chat. And, I was a dumb little kid, so I thought, oh, Dragon Ball's ending, and it's not going to, continue on. But I was like, wait a minute, Dragon Ball Z, it's a sequel? And, the whole premise of Dragon Ball, chat, just to be very simplified, follows this little monkey kid named Son Goku, teams up with all these other characters he meets along the way, whether it be Bulma or Krillin or Yamcha, trained by, great warriors such as Master Roshi, chat, entering a martial arts tournament and things, going around the world, stopping Red Ribbon Army, King Piccolo, eventually having one of his rivals being Piccolo Jr. is what he's called Junior. It's like, that's what I remember Dragon Ball being for a long time. I thought, oh, it's just kind of ending with that. But then they established a new sequel series, chat, where this little monkey boy, he's like, oh, he just has for whatever reason, he has a tail, occasionally able to turn into a great ape and shit because of the moon. But no, it's revealed, chat, in the first episode of Dragon Ball Z, it's fucking revealed that Goku, you're not a human. You're an alien from another world. It's like, what? Blew my little mind back. I was like, oh, he's an alien? Oh my God, he's an alien, chat, from the planet Vegeta. You're from a race of soldiers. He has a brother named Raditz. Named Raditz, he's a bad guy. It's like, what? It's insane, shit. It's insane. And you have the various arcs and shit. Like, for me, I always liked the Saiyan arc. Everything with, Raditz. And yeah, I always thought they should have done more of Raditz, chat. It's like, that was a lost opportunity, chat. Like, Goku's, evil brother. Like, I felt like everything that what they could have done with Raditz, they did with Vegeta, I feel. But, like, Raditz to me was a really big lost opportunity. And if I think anything I would change, if I had control of the DB, like, let's do more of that. I think that'd be better, chat. Bring him back in some capacity. And they can, but they just never did anything with it. I always like the Saiyan arc with Vegeta. I mean, introduced one of the great villains, anti-villains, anti-heroes of the series, Vegeta chat. And the Saiyan arc, Nappa. I'm Nappa. Like, I love Nappa. Then, of course, you had the Namek saga chat, introducing Frieza, the whole concept of Frieza being the one who actually destroyed Planet Vegeta. And it's like, stupid monkey. Prince Vegeta. Prince of nothing. Like, I always love, Frieza's my favorite DBZ villain. Always loved him. I really like the Cell arc chat. Very creepy arc. This Android and the Android arc, you want to call it that, Android Cell arc. I really like that one. That's when you start knowing, like, okay, it's getting a little long in the tooth, DBZ. And the Boo arc to me was just like, this felt unnecessary, Chad. Like, the Cell arc ends with goddamn Gohan inheriting the mantle of Protector of Earth, and all the fans went, we hate that. We want Son Goku, and I'm like, fuck. Goku, I'm going to tell you right now, Chad, Goku is not a very good character. He's really never been. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, okay, Goku's got to save the day. He's got to beat the bad guy. He's got to beat the bad guy. He's got to have the last fight. I'm fucking sick of it. I'm tired of it, chat. I'm tired of it. I'll say this. Vegeta was a nasty asshole originally. He was a piece of shit. He was a villain. But at least, unlike Goku, chat, Vegeta had an arc. He eventually became a good husband. He eventually became a good father. Where, can you say that for Goku? No. He's not a good father, obviously. Piccolo is the true dad of Gohan. He's not a good husband. So it's like, at least Vegeta had character progression, unlike Goku, who's been the same person literally for his all 40. By the way, it's crazy that they established in this he's 41 years old, and he's a grandfather. It's like, damn, him and Chi-Chi got busy very early on. Very early on, Chad, when they had Go. Did they have when they were like 15 or so? I guess they did have when he was pretty young. Gee, you should have took Goku out for He should have. And he fucking just relies on Chi-Chi and her father, the Ox King, for money. Because you can't fucking support yourself on tournament money for an entire year, Goku. So, never been a big Goku fan, chat. But yeah, he's part of the series, whatever. But yeah, the Boo arc, I fell off. I just didn't particularly care for it. After that, like, I did GT, and I didn't watch GT. I was like, okay, I know this is bad. Everything I've seen from it, didn't particularly care for it. And then you started to have a Super comeback. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I remember seeing Resurrection F, which I thought was cool to bring back Frieza. He was always my favorite villain. That was fun. And I know that with Dragon Ball Super, they introduced the idea of a multiverse now, chat. So we're not just universe, wild threats. We have multiverse threats. And we have various villains, or not even villains, but like, anti-heroes that our team has typically gone up against and everything. And that's been fun. Not only of them have been great. They have this dumb, gray alien-looking guy, which I don't know who the fuck you are, but you're lame-looking. Never cared for him, chat. That's just kind of my general impressions of Dragon Ball Legend. I was a big fan back in the day. I mean, I've fallen off, but I still have an affection and appreciation for the franchise, chat. And I'm curious to see where it goes now with something like Dragon Ball Super Broly, which I think is going back and retroactively changing a few things. In some cases, I think for the better. And I'm seeing how that will go forward in the future. Thank you, Batch of the 5 Biddies. I had the biggest crush on Videl. Everyone had a big crush on fucking Videl back in the day. And Android 18. Good for Krillin. Good for Krillin, chat, that he got Android 18. He needed. Krillin he got shit on. He's died like 5 times. It's like, good for Krillin, chat. That's what I can say right now. Did Avengers copy the rules of time travel from Dragon Ball? Yes. They did. Yeah, it's the same rules. Where when Trunks goes back, and I'm getting deep in the fucking weeds here. I'm getting deep in the goddamn weeds, chat. But I'm gonna pull you out of them in a second. Then we're gonna get to the review. Where you have the androids and they lay waste to his timeline. But Trunks goes back in the past and he helps another timeline basically. Say it's like, well, if my timeline was destroyed, I want to help you guys at least. And then he becomes powerful enough where he goes back in his timeline and destroys the androids in Cell. That's what that happens. So now I got you out of the weeds here, Chet. But now, Chet, we got to go into nitty-gritty detail about Dragon Ball Super Broly. A scene-by-scene breakdown, Chet. I need a drink. I'm going to end up starting like Alex Jones by the end of this review. Chat, we start off on Planet Vegeta, chat. Wow, we're going way back in the past, chat. But we got to establish this little baby boy Broly, chat. We got to establish this little baby boy, chat. But everyone's on the edge on Planet Vegeta right now. Because, chat, the Cold Force, King Cold himself, has declared that he wants to have a meeting with the Saiyan people, with King Vegeta the Third. And he wants all the goddamn Saiyans and the royalty to be right there because he has a big special announcement. Everyone's on edge, Shaq, because the King Cold, the Cold Force, they are basically a pirate regime that conquers planet Shaq, that conquers planets and sells them to the highest bidder. It's been a legacy that's been established for quite some time by King Cold's father and King Cold's grandfather, Chad. It's been going on for a while. He has 2 children. One, his eldest son, is Frieza, Prince Frieza, and the other one being Prince Cooler, Chad. He's not in this movie, but I've always been a big fan of Cooler. But they've called us God Dimmy, and King Vegeta's just like, shit, all right, well, if anything goes bad, you keep a goddamn eye on him, okay? I don't know what might go down, but if he tries to, eliminate us, let's at least go down fighting, all right? Thank you. Wow, we were. Oh, Num21, thank you for the follow. You're my new Huckleberry. Welcome to stream. Hope you're doing very well today. So, they all go. I love it too because you get all cameos from some OG, like Dragon Ball Z villains. So of course, not only do you see King Cold again, Chad, the father of Frieza, who we saw after the events of the Namekian saga and right before the Android saga and Cell saga when he brings his son back and puts them together. It was kind of cool. But we see King Cold, of course. We see a younger Frieza, Chad, younger Frieza, and one of his weakest form, if you will. We also see the Ginyu Force, chat. Ha! Ha! Hoo! Ha! You see the Ginyu Force, and they're all doing the stupid dumb poses, chat. I love it. Ginyu! We see them, we see Dodoria, chat, and we also see Zarbon. We see Zarbon, chat. He's fabulous. Thank you! Leave 100 minutes. I like this movie. Me too. Dragon Ball always has a place in my heart, even with its flaws. I'm right there with you, Gilly. I'm right there with you. It's still in there to this day. The Super Sentai. I love it. I love seeing the Ginyu Force. But it's just a cameo. They're not in the movie that long. I would have loved to see them come back. But they fucking land, and King Cold, he steps out of the goddamn shit. He's a big motherfucker, chat. King Cold is fucking huge. He's like Frieza 2 form. Like when he goes, yeah, this is even my final form, and we get Frieza 2 form. That's what King Cold typically looks like. He has these giant horns and everything. And he steps out, and Ginyu Force is going, ha, 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 and all that shit. And King Vegeta's like, welcome, King Cold. It's a pleasure to see you here. And he's like, oh, yes, King Vegeta. Always a pleasure to see one of my favorite subjects. And he goes, let me get the anime. Like, I don't know what that is about anime or the Japanese culture, but that... I don't know what that is, but everyone fucking does it. It cracks me every time it happens, though. He says, I just wanted to tell everyone here, including you, King Vegeta, that I am stepping down as leader and king of the Cold Force, and my son, Frieza, will be taking my place. It shall now be no longer known as the Cold Force, but as the Frieza Force. And, Frieza's just like, oh, King Vegeta, oh, what an adorable title. Oh, monkeys. I love it, chat, because fucking Frieza is a racist motherfucker. Every time he sees Vegeta or Goku or any Saiyans, he just goes, oh, how adorable the monkeys are playing. And they're like, oh, this racist fuck. And he's just like, oh, I just wanted to let you all know that I will be your new humble leader. Now, nothing will really change, however. I must admit, I am far more harsher than my father has been. And King Cold's like, he's a real crazy son of a bitch. And he's like, thank you, Daddy. Now, I have brought you gifts. I have so many wonderful toys. Oh, for all you dirty monkeys. And he brings out all these gifts, and they introduce the Scouters chef. I know that you have been reliant on the telescope, Scouters. That is outdated. Even you monkeys deserve better. And if you put them on like so, you're able to detect various beings' power levels. And he goes, oh my, well, it seems we have a number of monkey Saiyans established in several places in your palace. And they seem to have their weapons trained on us, Father. Can you believe it? I cannot, son. He's like, well, let's show them what we can do. And he blasts these fuckers, chat. And he's just laughing. He's just like, well, that was so much fun. Enjoy the gifts, monkeys. I'll see you next time. And he just leaves. I fucking Juicy as Frieza for live action. Thank you, Emerald Jester. Listen. One of my other voice acting dreams, chat. The guy who does the voice of Frieza, I'm gonna give him the respect that he deserves. Chat. He's great. He's been voicing Frieza, I think. Christopher Ayers kills it as Frieza. Chat. He's a well-known voice actor. Just such a goddamn great work. But I would love someday to do Frieza, chat. Hello, monkeys. But he fucking leaves, chat, and Vegeta's just like, that was fucking embarrassing, Jesus Christ. But you know what, chat? He's got a plan. Because what's growing in a little incubator, chat? What's being, nursed in an incubator, chat? His son, the Prince of all Saiyans, Vegeta the Fourth it is. We go to the birthing chambers, chat. We go to the birthing nursery chambers, and we see Vegeta. He's in the middle of this chamber, and, he's all floating there and shit. By the way, every time a Saiyan is grown, they're born with a full head of hair. Your hair does not change while you grow up. It just remains the same shape. That's a mass of hair on his head. He's just floating there, little baby Vegeta. Just like, very prideful and a big ego and shit. Just having to just like, fucking looking around and shit. But, King Vegeta, he's just so happy, like, my pride and joy, my son, you shall inherit my throne and defeat Frieza. By the way, I love that they have the voice actor for for Vegeta. Christopher Sabat is also voicing King Vegeta. Just sounds much, much older. It's like, that's this Christopher Sabat doing that again. I was like, that was pretty cool. I really liked that. I really dug that. But then, chat, something he notices on the corner of his eye. He sees one of these low-class Saiyan pods right next to his son's pod. And he's like, wait a minute. That guy's in a whole different caste system, or class system. They have like a class system on Vegeta, chat, where you have the Saiyan royalty, Saiyan elite, and then the commoners, if you will, chat. The lesser class warrior, which what Vegeta always calls Goku all the time. Commoner. Thank you. Wawawiwa, chat. Forsaker fucker. Fair enough. Thank you for the follow. You're my new Huckberry. Welcome to stream. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Just in the middle of my review for Dragon Ball Super Broly. So, King Vegeta sees that. So what's that little fuck right there? And they say, well, sir, this is the son of Pagaris, is one of your top lieutenants. And he goes, what's this low-class warrior doing next to my son? You haven't answered my question. And they're going, well, his power level is actually quite powerful. And he's like, well, give it here. And they use the scanner on him, chat. And they're getting the readings, and apparently, Chad, the scanner just explodes because this little baby boy, Chad, this Broly, the son of Pagaris, Chad, his fucking power level is not even on the goddamn charts. It just explodes the scanner, and it's like, it must have malfunctioned, sir. We'll get another one. And they look at him again, Chad, and it stops at 5,000, but he's a power level of 5,000, Chad, which is huge. Some Saiyans don't even have 5,000 power level. That puts you at like an elite level. And King Vegeta's just like, there is no possible way that this kid is as good or better than my son, okay? He's an abomination, and we must deal with him. And so instead of stabbing a baby, like is what he does in the original series shit, he stabs the shit out of the baby, and then he just leaves it in the trash, and then Pagaris finds it, and it's like, fuck, it's kind of dark. King Vegeta says, we're just going to exile him to a planet. So what Saiyans do, Chad, much like the Frieza Force, that's what they do for the Frieza Force right now, is they conquer worlds, they just systematically commit genocide, they completely wipe out a population or enslave it for themselves, and they sell these planets to the highest bidder. And so what they typically do, though, Chad, it's weird. It's a weird process. Yeah, so many, it's fucked up. The Saiyans are a violent culture. They implant these children in the society, so they launch them via these spaceship pods. They crash down on the planet, and if they survive until young adulthood, chat, then their programming kicks in. They wipe out all the people on that particular planet. That's what they did, at least in the animated series. They might change it now. I don't know how it works now in the new canon. They kind of go back and forth, and that was like an explanation for why Goku originally was supposed to conquer Earth, chat. But he fell on his head, and and he got derpy. He got really derpy, and all the programming was erased. That's how that happened. It was like, oh, but he was supposed to kill everybody on Earth. Like that was the big thing. I was like, wow, that's kind of fucked up. But they might change it. I don't think they've established it right now. Because if you're not a fan here, how come every male Dragon Ball are so ripped? Training. You gotta train. That's the big reason. You just gotta train. There's a life of training and relying on your wife to actually raise your children. That's really all it is. And she has all the responsibility and you have none. That's how it works. That's how it works in the world of Dragon Ball, chat. Anyway, fucking Pagras, he goes to speak to King Vegeta, says, please, my son, listen, I can train him, okay? He'll always be loyal to you, my king. And King Vegeta's like, yeah, listen, I already sent that little shit to a new world. And he's like, what? And he sent him to the world of Vampa or some chat. And it's like this very savage, untamed world, chat. There's actually there's no intelligent life. Well, no, there's intelligent life there, but they're all animals and shit. And like giant fucking bugs and giant furry hentai tails and shit. It's like very weird. And he said, I sent him to the hentai bug planet. He's like, you sent him to the hentai bug planet? And he goes, yeah, man, I had to do it. He's like, well, King Vegeta, you'll pay for this. And he runs out, Chad. He runs out. He's very upset by the situation. Thank you. Oh my God. Not Joel Nunez, thank you for the follow. You might Huckleberry, welcome to stream. And so he's mad, chat. So he commandeers himself one of those little Saiyan spaceships, one of those little Saiyan spaceships. And there's this one guy, I don't know the guy's name, chat, the Cucumber, I don't know. All Saiyans are named after vegetables. So like Kakarot, I think, is carrot in Japanese. Vegeta is just vegetable. Or it's supposed to be it's supposed to be like vegetable, an anagram of vegetable, whatever. And you have some other, like Nappa is banana. Broly is broccoli. It's like, I don't know what Pagurus is. He must be something. I'm not sure. But he, ooh. My condition is in. Thank you, Dark Souls 5 minutes. It says something that Vegeta of all people is a better husband. He is, and he's a better husband. Oh, no, did we have a troll in here? Thank you, Elliot Hobb. Elliot, good to see you back in here, man. Hope you're doing very well. I know you've been very, very busy, but thank you so much. Piccolo's the best character in the series, probably in terms of morality. Like, he had a very similar arc where he went from bad to good. He didn't want to have the same legacy as King Piccolo, and he's a great father to Gohan. Like, he's like, if you don't want to fight, you don't have to fight. Like, I like that about Piccolo. Piccolo's a great character. Oh, asparagus, you're right. Ed, man, you're correct. That's right. Yeah, thank you for helping me. Yeah, thank you for helping me. So he commandeers this thing from a guy, I don't know, a guy's named Cucumber, so I don't know what the fuck the guy's name is. But he's like, I don't know if I want to do this. And he says, I gotta get my son back. And the Cucumber's like, well, your son, it does sound kind of bad. Okay, I'll help you, Pagurus. And so they go to Vampa, chat. We then cut to Broly, his pod lands on there, and he's like, I'm a baby. He's just confused. He's just very confused. Thank you, Bench of the 5 bits for Piccolo. 5 bits for Piccolo, the ideal black. I love that. It's weird, but yeah, people like Piccolo is typically viewed as a black character. he's a great black dad. He is. I agree. He absolutely one of the best dads in all of anime, I'd say. Yeah, he has a small appearance in this film, chat. We'll get to him eventually. But Broly, he crash lands on the plane. He's like, I don't know where I am. I'm a baby. Obviously, chat. But he finds some eggs, and he just kills this fucking mother who's just trying to protect her eggs. And he's like, he eats all the eggs. Meanwhile, we cut back to Pagurus and Cucumber, chat. And they crash land on Vampa, and the ship gets all fucked up. Like, we gotta go find my kid. And so they spend, like, the first day trying to find him, chat, but that night there's these little bugs. There's, like, these giant fucking bugs, and they look very scary and shit. And like, ugh. And they're like, God, this isn't good. And they hide out for a while, chat. And Pagurus, he's just like, I'm going to swear revenge upon Vegeta, King Vegeta and his son for what they have done to me and my son. And it's like, it's terrible. So, like, you think King Pagurus is like, oh, he's actually really does care about his son, and he wants to help him, chat, but, we don't know. Maybe that's going to change over time. We'll see. Eventually, they do find Broly inside this cave, and he's killed this massive beast, chat, that was protecting its eggs. And they're like, how the fuck did this happen? There's no way. And eventually, they go deep in the cave, and they find the egg nest, and Broly's just eating the eggs and shit. And Pagurus, he notices that Broly, all Saiyans have, like, this armor, that grows with them and things. And he notices he has his armor on, but the armor's been, like, stretched weirdly, and it looks broken. And so he's like, he went into his great ape form. So, chat, another Dragon Ball thing. Saiyans, they have tails, chat. And every, I guess, month or something, if they stare directly at the moon for some time, this causes a chemical reaction in their body and they become fucking King Kong. They literally become a great ape. And their power level is emphasized by like 100 or something. Like they become very powerful. So Pagurus assumes that's what happens. Like, all right, sure. But then they go back to the ship and the hyperdrive is fucked. You can't fix the hyperdrive shed. They need a part. We don't have that part. No spare part. You're stranded here. And they're all like panicking because we only have 10 days worth of food. Cucumber, he just wants to go back to his wife and children. He's like, I'm just like, we got to somehow get out of here. But maybe we could survive the food and maybe we can try to make contact. Packer's like, yeah, fuck that. Takes out his gun and shoots him. Kills Cucumber, chat. Cucumber wanted to help. That's not fair. Poor Cucumber, chat. And he gets killed. And so he spends his days, chat, just training his son and seeking revenge. You know, that's what they do. We then cut back, chat, to planet Vegeta, where we see Bardock, the father of Goku, and he's just getting back from a mission with like another Saiyan and everything. And apparently, chat, they were called back quickly because Frieza and the Frieza Force are saying all Saiyans must report directly back to Vegeta now. Now is I guess it's like several years later, maybe. Thank you. Boots be knocking. That's a good name. For the Prime subscription. Thank you for using your Prime subscription on my channel. You are now a Revenant. Congratulations. Hope you're enjoying this fine review so far. And I'll say this. I like this. I can kind of see both this because I think this how they characterize Bardock in this was very starkly different from the original show. Bardock was a bad person in the original show. He had a good motivation to save his son and his people, but he was still a bad person because he was still conquering worlds, and he still kind of is a bad person, but he's not. And they try to retroactively make him like, I know I killed a bunch of people, committed genocide, but I want to do at least one good deed. And they kind of change his voice acting as well. Chile, we'll get to Chile in a bit. Clearly, I'm like, oh, this is new eye candy for all those weebs. But he's like, something's weird. Why is Frieza calling all the Saiyans back to Planet Vegeta? And his fucking partner's just like, maybe he's going to give us new scouters. He's like, shut up, you idiot. And they land on the planet. And, Bardock's walking around, and he's like, people are, it's like, hi, Bardock. He's like, hi, did you kill people? He's like, you know it, and like, good, man. And he goes, why, I just want to ask you guys a question. Why did Frieza have us all come back? They're like, we don't know, but apparently he's been asking, along with his forces, his top lieutenants, Dodoria and, Zarbon and the Ginyu Force, they've been asking about the legendary Super Saiyan. And Bardock's like, that's it. He's afraid of the Saiyans. Frieza's afraid of the Saiyans. And lo and fucking behold, chat, we cut back up to Frieza, and he's talking to his people right now, and we got introduced to a new character, chat. There's this one character who I love who is very confident in themselves, and it's one of his female lieutenants. Her name is Blueberry, which I thought was very funny. And she's kind of like really sarcastic, and she kind of throws his shit right back at him, which is like one of those few characters that talks back to Frieza, but she just knows what to do, and he kind of respects her. It's interesting. Because, Blueberry, we're happy to report, Lord Frieza, that the legendary Super Saiyan appears to just be a myth, a legend passed down from the people. And Frieza goes, that is excellent news. Well, I hate to, lose this opportunity, of course. He has his little dumb assistant, his little green guy, little bug guy. He's like, Lord Frieza, what do you mean? Legendary Super Saiyan doesn't exist. Well, why were you going to go through with this plan anyway? Because I want to. The Saiyans, even though they swore fealty to me and my father, I still don't trust them. We give them way too much independence. This is a prime opportunity to eliminate them once and for all. And then eventually he's like, she's going to kill them all, chat. Very similar to in the Namekian Saga, which he explains how that happened. Eventually, we cut back to Bardock, who is visiting his wife, which is the first appearance, I think, of Bardock's wife in the series. I forget her name. What the hell is her name, chat? I don't know. I don't know her name, chat. She has a specific name. I had a brain fart. I was like, opportunity. I know how to say that word. I got that word, chat. But we meet the wife of Bardock for the first time, chat, and they apparently have a very loving relationship, chat. Bardock is asking about Raditz, little baby Raditz. Apparently Raditz, he's off on a mission with Prince Vegeta. And Bardock's like, shit, that's the last person I want him with, but I'm sure he'll be okay. And he's like, how's Kakarot doing? He's like, well, he's in his little pod. And we see him in his little pod chat, and Bardock comments, "Oh, he looks weak, he looks frail." And she's like, "Don't worry, I'm sure he's just a late bloomer." And Bardock, he's really concerned about his son, Shan, his wife, and he's just like, "Ah, shit, honey, I have to make the decision. I gotta pull a goddamn Jor-El." She's like, "Who the fuck is Jor-El?" And chat, they straight Geen, that's it. Geen was Bardock's wife. Geen. Thank you, Batshields. Geen is Bardock's wife. They straight up steal the origin of Superman for the next 10 minutes, where he's just like, "Yeah, the planet's fucked. Frieza's here, and so we're gonna save our last son and have him go sent to Earth so he can live among those people and hopefully find a happy family to raise him right." They straight up stole it. And they're like, dude, they do not care. They do not care. I was like, he's Marlon Brando. He's like, "This is my son, Kakarot. Am I saying that correctly? It's Kakarot. It's a great name." So, but the Geen, his wife, is just like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "The reason why we're all called back here is that Frieza was curious about the legendary Super Saiyan, but he's gonna take the opportunity to destroy the entire fucking planet." And she's like, "Oh my god, but can't we go with our son? I love him. I love Kakarot. I love you." And he goes, "Nah, I can't do it." And they explain this is the reason why. Apparently, they'll be able to track them down using their scouters, chat. So even if they went with Goku to Earth to live out the rest of their lives and raise him, they would have still been discovered and possibly bring the Frieza Force to that planet. So at least they give an explanation as to why they can't go. Well, because Goku's power level is just so low. It's like 10. So he probably wouldn't even serve in the military anyway. Thank you, DJ, for the 20 days. What's up, Chris? How is your night going? It's going very well. King DJ currently in the middle of my review for Dragon Ball Super Broly. And so he wakes Goku up from the little pod chat, puts him in the little armor, puts him in the spaceship and shit. And this is kind of a sad scene because Bardock's like, "Well, what if you're wrong? What if you're wrong?" And Bardock's saying, like, "If I'm wrong, then I will go to Earth and bring our son back. I'll bring our son back to you." And she's like, "You promise me?" He goes, "I promise you. I promise you." And little Goku, he's confused. He's like, "I don't know what's happening." And the mom's is like, "Kakarot, I love you so much. I love you so much. Okay, you be a big strong man for mommy. Okay, you be a big strong man." And that's what's tragic about this. And he reaches out, she places her hand on there, and Kakarot reaches out and puts his hand right next to hers, like not understanding what's going on. She's sad, so he's sad. And Bardock even says, "I love you, son, okay? If I'm wrong, I will come back for you. I will come for you, all right? And I'll raise you." Because then he even says, because Geen even brings up, it's like, "Bardock, Saiyan men never show this much affection towards their sons. I've never seen you this way." And he stops as he's just about to launch the thing. And he says, "I've spent my entire life hurting people. And I've grown so tired of it, so wary of it. And I know that what I've done can never be forgiven. But I want to, at least for the first time in my life, save somebody." And he saves Goku. He saves his son Kakarot, yeah. And, the ship blasts off, and they wave goodbye, typical fashion, chat. And it's like, I can see the future. So in the original, okay, I'm going to pause the review. In the original Bardock movie, Bardock's just like, he learns that Frieza's going to destroy planet Vegeta. He just learns, chat, through a telepathic fish monster that him and his people are conquering, chat. And he's like, "I can see the future." And he attacks Bardock and suckles on his neck. Bardock's like, "Yeah!" And Bardock learns about the destruction of Vegeta by Frieza. And he goes to Vegeta, trying to warn him, but no one believes him and shit. And he goes out there to try to stop Frieza by himself. And Frieza's like, "Stupid monkey," and throws a fucking energy bomb at him, kills him, and destroys Planet Vegeta. But chat, there's one big difference. In his death, in the throes of death, chat, when he's about to die, he sees the future. "I see the future," and he sees Kakarot, Goku, all grown up and kill Frieza. That's what it is. And before he dies, he sees the little fucking ball of his son being sent out in outer space for some reason, because apparently he's being sent out to Earth because it was a very low-level planet. He goes, "Yes, my son, get revenge for me. You can avenge our Saiyan race." So he was very kind of selfish and just very much like Pagurus in this movie, where he says, "Yeah, just get revenge for all Saiyans." And this one, I kind of liked that they changed it up and said, and they basically made him Jor-El. Well, it's like they're stealing from Superman. There's no doubt about that. But at least you try to make him a good person. You know, in the end, I admired that. I admired at least the attempt at it. It was a lazy attempt, but at least he made the attempt. After this chat, then, you know, Goku, he's launched to Earth, chat, traveling all those millions of light years away. We then immediately cut to Frieza just going, okay, monkeys, time to die. And he creates this giant death energy ball, chat, and he goes, ooh, and he throws it at the planet. And we cut, and this is very much similar to the original movie, chat, where Bardock is up there, and he goes, trying to stop it, shit, but he ain't fucking stopping shit. And he's hit by the blast, his wife's down on the ground, all the Saiyans, chat, they're all looking up and like, fuck, this is it, huh? And he, you know, and Bardock dies, his wife dies, they all fucking die. King Vegeta dies, they're all dead. We then immediately, and then, you know, Frieza's just like, well, that was quite a taxing evening. I wonder what wine I'll have. And he could give a shit less. He just committed genocide, chat. We then immediately cut to a very young Nappa, Nappa with a full head of hair. And he just got word, along with two other Saiyans who were unnamed, that the fucking planet Vegeta was exploding. He's like, Vegeta! And Vegeta's like, what is it, Nappa? And he's just like, Vegeta exploded. He's like, I'm right here, Nappa. And he's like, no, the planet. And he goes, oh, no. Oh, well, I guess I won't be king now. That sucks. He could give a shit less about his planet, his people, and his dad, his mom. I don't know. And then we have little Raditz there, too. And, you know, Vegeta's asked. Oh, also, they mentioned Vegeta's brother, Turbos, or whatever the fuck his name was. It's like, Vegeta, didn't you have a brother? And he goes, I guess. I don't know where he is right now. And they made a movie about that one. But then he's like, Raditz, didn't you have a brother as well? Yeah, Mom sent him to Earth, I guess. At least that's what she told me. I could care less, really. So Raditz, they were like, yeah, fuck you. And then shall we cut back to Goku. Grand Vizier Nappa, I need your trusted guidance. I got you. Stab the baby. Are you sure? Yeah, just stab the baby. Listen, Frieza's gonna come in here. You just gotta stab the baby. Anyway, we then cut to Goku, chat. We get him going to Earth, chat, in the ball, crash landing on Grandpa Gohan's farm. And we get a montage, and we get the, you know, the classic theme song playing, everything. We go through all the years, chat, of him growing up, International Arts Tournament, Piccolo being his rival, the Saiyan arc, the Namekian arc with Frieza, the Cell arc, the Buu arc, until modern day. And it starts with a punch in the face, chat, where Vegeta, now fully grown, and is now one of the protectors of Earth, is sparring with Goku at Bulma's summer palace, summer retreat home, and they're fighting and shit. And they're having a great goddamn time, Chad. It's a blast for them. It's a blast for them. You know, they're all fighting, and this is a perfect time for them to spar because there's no fucking citizens or civilians around, so they can fight. We also have the god of destruction, Beerus, Chad. He's a big blue Egyptian kitty, and he's like, I might destroy your planet. I don't know. And he's kind of, it's interesting. Piccolo's always kind of like the dad of the true dad of Dragon Ball. They're setting Beerus up to be another Piccolo as a dad. Where he's always playing with Bulma and Vegeta's newborn Bullet, Chad. He's kind of like babysitting her throughout the entire movie, having a good time. It's like, oh, it's kind of cute. It's kind of cute, Chad. Bulma's got a lot of money. Capsule Corp, man. Capsule Corp. Every fucking country in the world uses their technology, Chad. No, she's a fucking trillionaire. Her families are trillionaires. And she's the head of the corporation. Then you got Whis there, and Whis. There's a lot of characters, Chad. If you haven't seen the series, there's a lot of characters there. But Whis is kind of like this very effeminate trainer and guardian that works with the God Destruction Beers. But oh no, something bad's happened, chat, because they get a call from Trunks and Goten, and they just walked into one of the Capsule Corp laboratories, chat, that houses the Dragon Balls, apparently. The Dragon Balls are being kept there. And they say, Mom, there was a break-in. And she's like, what? And it's like, they stole the Dragon Balls. And she's like, oh no, this happens all the time. Just fucking keep those shits on lockdown. And then apparently they only had 6 Dragon Balls, though. It's only 6 because there's 7 to make a wish. So Dragon Balls, the whole concept is, there are these magical, mystical balls. And if you bring all 7 together, chat, you get to summon a dragon, a wish dragon named Shenron. He's like, what is your wish? And he's like, I want to be whatever. I want to be a millionaire. He's like, okay, wish is granted. And he gives it to you. There are, some caveats, of course. If it's within my power, I can do this. And I'm like, all right, fair enough. And she collects these occasionally and wishes for stuff. The richest woman in the world occasionally needs more things. And they've used these Dragon Balls to bring people back from the dead, Chad. I mean, all through all the arcs. This is what happens. This is what fucking happens. And so she's like Steve Jobs. She's the female Steve Jobs, no doubt about it. And she's like, fuck. They got she only collected 6 apparently. And she says, well, we got to go for the 7th one because it was in the Arctic, and the Arctic is fucking cold, and I want to leave that one for last. And she's like, hey, Goku, husband, can you stop fighting so we can go get the Dragon Ball? They find out that it's the Frieza Force. So Frieza sent down 2 of his lackeys, and they retrieved the Dragon Balls. They're going for the other one. It's like, hey, do you want to go with me to the, the Arctic to get them? And they're like, okay, Bulma, we'll go. He's like, fine, woman, we'll go. And, but Vegeta loves his wife, though. So they're following, they go to the Arctic. Meanwhile, chat, we cut to, we're still with, so we find out the big reason why Bulma needs the Dragon Balls, because Goku's like, Bulma, why do you need the Dragon Balls? You have everything. And Vegeta's like, I ain't saying shit. Like, I like Vegeta, like, knows his place. He's like, ooh, he gets a little embarrassed now. He's like, ooh, I don't want him to say. And she's like, well, if you must know, Goku, it's because I want to wish to look 5 years younger. And he's just like, that's your wish? Really? And she's like, yes, that's my wish, okay? And, then Whis is with them. I think they're just kind of hanging out. Oh, and Beerus is just babysitting little bully. He's like, I guess I'll babysit the baby since I can't eat her. You'd be mad if I would eat her, right? And he's like, all right, I'm a babysitter. And he's like, why didn't you just go for an even decade, Bulma? She goes, because I want it to look natural. Because if I just de-age 10 years and I go to all my friends, Chi-Chi would ask me, oh, Bulma, who's the person? Who's the plastic surgeon you went to? So I needs to look natural, okay? All right? I'm 39, which I'm like, it's crazy that she's only 39 years old. Which is weird, because she's been older than She's older than Goku, so I don't know how that... No, she's in her 40s. No, she must be like 40, 41. But then Goku's 41. Doesn't make any goddamn sense. The ages don't make any sense. And Vegeta, I love Vegeta's just like, I ain't saying nothing. She's like, it's not like I have your Saiyan DNA. You guys age more gracefully than humans, okay? And sometimes we need a little extra help. And Goku's just like, okay, Bulma. I mean, if that's all you needed, just to get rid of a few wrinkles, she's like, ooh, Goku. And she gets mad at him, Chad. She slaps the shit out of him. She's like, Bulma, stop. And all that. And Vegeta's just like, I ain't helping you, you idiot. You're now fighting you're now experiencing the wrath of my wife. It's the last thing. It's the only person I'm scared of is my wife. So I really do appreciate how they've made Vegeta a slightly more comedic character, where he's not just all the time. Like, he literally loves his wife, his son, and his newborn daughter. I really like that. Bad thing with Louise, I'm pretty sure they acknowledge her lying about her age at a gag. Okay, so they must. So she looks 30, but she's 45. That's what it is. She's 45. And she does not look 45. Well, again, you work at a Capsule Corp, get the injection in yourself all day, looked a little younger. Then cut to Frieza, chap. We again took to Frieza, who since resurrected, he's alive again, shit. Even though he died in the mech, he's alive again. Thank you, because here's the face. What's up? Sorry, I'm late. I was doing a Facebook chat. What I've missed. I'm doing a review for Dragon Ball Super Broly. We are now with Frieza, Lord Frieza, and he's resurrected, Chad. He's in his typical form, Chad. His typical white-purple form. The one that we all know and love. And he has an assistant there, and he's like the same one that we saw earlier in the movie. He's been with him for a long time. And he goes, Lord Frieza, if I may ask you. Well, he's a good news, Lord Frieza. Our soldiers have recovered 6 of the Dragon Balls. And he's like, it didn't take them as long as I thought it would. Excellent news, underling. And he's like, well, they need to find the 7th one, but I can assure you they will acquire it quickly. They are my top men. He goes, I'm sure you like to say that all the time to me. And the assistant's just like, if you don't mind me asking, my lord, what do you want to do with the Dragon Balls? What do you want to wish for? He's like, let's play a little game, shall we? I'll give you 3 guesses to see what's on my mind, what I wish to do with the Dragon Ball. He's like, do you wish to... Thank you, Dark Side of the 5 Days. Death in the Dragon Ball universe is like Marvel and DC. Yeah, it means nothing. Unless you're Raditz. Unless you're Raditz, and unless you're Nappa, then it means nothing. Yeah, Frieza's died, Jesus Christ, more than, I think it might be even more than Krillin at this point. I have to look into it. Of all the Dragon Ball villains, he's died the most and come back because he's so popular. People love Frieza. I love Frieza too. He's a great villain. I'm glad they brought him back because he's like, no one has been as good as Frieza. I love Cell. I do like Cell, but he's not Frieza level to me. But the assistant's like, oh, do you wish to continue your quest for immortality? He goes, no, I've changed my mind about the whole immortality thing. He goes, really? He goes, yes. All that time I spent in Earth's hell, I just imagined how boring infinite life could be. No, it's far more exciting, the idea and concept of death. So I no longer wish to be immortal. And he goes, he's like, you have 2 more answers, I believe. And he goes, yes, Lord Frieza, you wish to no longer take any damage? And he's like, where would be the fun in battling? I typically have never had to train all that often, but I have enjoyed the fury and pain of battle now after fighting those monkeys. And he goes, well, I have no idea, so what could it be? And then Blueberry comes on and she goes, I know. And he's like, what? How do you know? And she goes, he wants to wish to be taller. He wants to grow taller. And Frieza's like, you crazy bitch. For real? And it's true. It's true. He's like, Blueberry, how could you say that? And Frieza's like, you're correct. And normally I would kill you, but I like you, Blueberry. And she's like, yeah, I know. I love it. She's the one person that can talk shit to him, chat. I don't know who she is. She's a new character invented for this film, but great addition. He needs someone like that to kind of also take him down a peg occasionally, because, I mean, Frieza's all ego. He's 100 times ego compared to someone like Vegeta. But it's like, I really like the addition. Boo is the definition of dumb. Yeah, Boo. I'm not a big Boo fan. Boo kind of falls into that pantheon of villains who is like, you are like a Doomsday, where you just punch things and you're kind of nonsensical. I've never been a big Boo fan. It's a person I'd wish the same. And so, but then his little assistant, he says, well, Lord Frieza, why don't you just change into your second form? You're much taller in that form. And he goes, no, I'd rather be in this primary form. And he goes, okay, so do you wish to grow several feet or be a giant? He goes, no, fool, I wish to grow 10 whole centimeters. And that's what his wish is, chat. You want to grow 10 whole centimeters. And the guy goes, okay, why? And he goes, because I want it to look natural. So his reason is the same as Bulma's, which is a great gag. He's just as vain. I want it to look natural, as if I am still growing. And he's like, oh, yes, my lord. We then cut to 2 new characters, chat. One is named Chile, chat. And man, she has the affection of all the horny weebs in the world, chat. Chile, she is this green-skinned alien with the white hair, and she's very, very curvaceous, chat. She got a big old bazunga, she's got a big old butt, and they show them off often in this movie. Thick, if you will, thick. And she is the romance, clearly being set up to be the romantic figure in Broly's life and in the future movies. But she's there, and we're with a little old orange man, chat. We're gonna call him Little Orange. Little Orange. I don't know what his actual name is, chat. And their quest, they got to go around the goddamn galaxy universe looking for fighters for the Frieza Force, chat, because apparently Frieza had a bad day, and he fucking blasted 50% of the Frieza Force forces. And so he's like, shit, we need more soldiers. So they just go spend our time looking places. And they just got a big blip on the fucking radar of this massive power reading. And they're like, we're going to go down this planet. And it happens to be the planet Vampa, Chad, okay? We've not been this planet in 41 goddamn years, okay? Last time we saw Broly and his dad, Paguras. Thankfully, there's no to be fair, a lot of animes accentuate the goods. They do. No, they do. But it was just like, that's the one. That was the one for this movie. She got that in thickums. Yeah, she is King B Rad. She is indeed. And so they go down the planet, and they're like, oh, this planet just fucking sucks, and it's smelly. And they go over, and they see, like, these giant bugs. They're like, we're gonna go eat. And she's like, oh, and they follow these bugs, chat, and they're, like, drinking at this, looks like a watering hole. It's like this green water hole with this like seaweed popping up. But then, oh my God, the seaweed is a hentai kitty. And it goes, ah! And it starts eating the bugs and shit, and its tail's like a hentai tail. It's like just hitting everything. They're like, holy fucking shit, it's a hentai kitty. Did not expect a hentai kitty, check. And they're going, wow. And so they run back to the ship because, like, this place is fucking weird. Maybe that was the thing we saw on the power reading. And they go, no, it was much larger than that. Like, really? And all of a sudden, chat, we hear this old man just going, wait. And it's Paguras. It's old man Paguras, chat. He goes, wait, oh, I've waited for so long. I never thought anyone would come. Oh, thank God. And he's like, oh, he recognized the uniforms. He's like, do you happen to be members of the Frieza Force? And they go, yeah, we see your uniform. It's quite old, but were you a member? Yes, my name is Pagurus. I am a Saiyan. And they go, a Saiyan? They're like, wait a minute, I thought they were nearly extinct. And he goes, what? And he's like, crazy. And, Chile goes to Little Orange, and she goes, Little Orange, don't call me that, Chile. He goes, Little Orange, was this the guy that we saw in the Power Rangers? Like, and they look, he's like, oh, he has a power rating of 4,200, and she goes, oh, that's perfect, you're great. No, Frieza will definitely welcome you back in the Frieza Force, and like, he's like, but that's not the reading we saw. He's like, what are you talking about? And then they come under attack by this giant monster chat. This giant monster attacks him. And Pagurus, and he just screams, Broly! And then Broly, who's like eating an egg, goes, huh. And he fucking blasts over there, chat, and he beats the shit out of the giant Goliath monster, chat. He just rips it in two, and they're like, holy shit! And he's got these fucking rippling pectorals, chat. I mean, he is a piece of man meat, chat. He's a piece of man meat. And he lands there right in front of Chile, and she goes, oh my God, I need to have sex with you right now. And he's like, are you bro? And chat, for the rest of the movie, fucking Broly talks like Vin Diesel. He doesn't say a lot. Are you girl, bro? He's like, what are these? She's like, let's take it easy. Actually, no, go ahead and feel him. All natural. No, he's fine. I'll tell you this. He's very soft-spoken. I know the voice actor apparently is not a good person. He's kind of a piece of shit. It's been revealed. Apparently he sexually assaulted fans, I think. I don't know. There are allegations against him, but I will say he does do a good job. He does do a good job here. And I like that Broly is really appreciative of his new friends. And he's actually, unlike a lot of a lot of males and a lot of male characters in Dragon Ball, he actually treats his female love interest with respect, which I'm like, oh, this is I don't often see that in Dragon Ball. I mean, Chi-Chi and Bulma, Bulma, her relationship with Vegeta got better, but still, initially, it was not great. I would not say it was positive, chat, to say the least. It was based on a relationship based on lust. But here, it's just like, no, Broly actually legitimately really likes Chile for her as a person, and also she's fucking thick as hell. And so she's like, oh my God, you're like a delicious piece of man meat. You have to come with us. I'll give your dad to Frieza, but you are mine. This fucking Adonis. She's like, can I touch them? He's like, bro, may touch. And touches the particular. She's like, she can't believe it, chat. But they all fly to the Frieza's command ship, chat. And Frieza is talking to Pagurus and Broly, and Frieza's like, okay, I have to play this right. I can't tell them that I was the one who destroyed Planet Vegeta. That would be very bad. And he goes, oh, welcome. What is your name again? Pagurus, sir. And he goes, oh, yes, Pagurus. As you know, a meteor destroyed your planet Vegeta. How do you feel about that? And he goes, well, I was briefed by your soldiers, Chile and the Little Orange Man. I said, I'm not Little Orange. He's like, I know. I don't know your name. But to be honest with you, sir, Lord Frieza, I care very little for the Saiyan people, for Planet Vegeta, and especially King Vegeta. And Frieza's like, oh, that's wonderful. Yes, I don't particularly care for the dirty monkeys, but in terms of monkeys, you are the best. I'm sorry, was that offensive? And the guy, we'll work on it. He goes, oh, thank you. I got a little free card. Excellent. So can I say monkeys? Is that PC? I'm going to keep saying it. I don't give a shit. So, but I must inform you, Pagurus, that Prince Vegeta, the son of King Vegeta, Vegeta the Fourth, indeed lives. He goes, ooh, Vegeta's my trigger. He goes, I know. He is currently on Earth, and I believe living quite happily with his wife and children and friends. If you will assist me in my quest, I happen to be going to Earth myself, I can help you get revenge. It's a thing I know quite personally. And Pagurus is like, yeah, sure, of course. And He's like, my son Broly can help with that. He says, oh, really, can he? I've heard he has immense strength and power. And, but fucking Pegasus says, hi, say hello to Frieza, Broly. And Broly's like, he doesn't want to say hello. He's like, he doesn't want to say, he doesn't like Frieza, And he goes, oh, forgive him, my lord, forgive him for his insolence. He's a shy boy. He's only known me since living on the planet. She goes, oh, no, pay no mind. It's fine. I totally understand. As long as he is very powerful and is able to fight Vegeta. However, I must say, he must spare the one known as Son Goku. He is mine. He has embarrassed me for so many years, and he continues to grow more powerful, and I will not allow that to continue. If he fights him, he shall not kill him. Do you understand, Pegasus? He goes, Crystal, my lord. He's like, oh, quite good, quite good. Well, please see to your accommodations. I will give you the very best. You are, of course, my special guest here. And they go, thank you, my lord, and they leave. And then Broly, he gets, him and Pegasus, they get all suited up. They get bathed and clean. And Broly's just kind of learning about modern, Dragon Ball society, Chad. It's all very new to him. And eventually, Frieza pays Chile and Little Orange a lot of money for their good work, Chad. Gives them a hell of a goddamn reason. Like, oh, there's a fucking fortune. Cool. And so they're living up. They're in the mess hall, Chad. They're eating, enjoying themselves. But then they see Broly and Pegasus come in. And she is like, hey, come here, man. Come here. No, come sit down with us. And Broly's like, I like that lady, father. And she goes, you should pay her no mind. You shouldn't be interested in women. Only fighting. He goes, but she's nice. She's nice, bro. She girl, bro. And she's like, come on. And he goes, I'm going to go sit down. He's like, all right, fine. They go sit down at the table. And they're just having a good time, and Chile's just. I was like, I noticed, Broly, you're not wearing the armor. He goes, the armor chafes Broly's nipples, and she goes, oh, I know they can get a little tight, and she does this fucking move, chat, where she lifts it up. It's like this armor that forms around you, and she lifts it up, chat, and her boobs just go, blah, and Broly's like, whoa, and he goes, boom, and they snap back, and they go, and Broly's like, oh, she goes, but they're pretty form-fitting. And he goes, that looks really nice. And she goes, we should put you in something that looks really cute. That'll really bring out what a man you are. And Pegasus is like, pay no mind to her, Broly. She's like, oh, ignore him. You could talk to whoever you want on here. The first thing that has to go, though, is this really stinky green-looking animal pelt. He's wearing this green animal pelt around him, chat. And as soon as she touches, he goes, don't touch that. Then he's like, his tone changes. He's more articulate with his speech. He's like, don't touch that. No, this, I like this. I like this. And, Pegasus is like, settle down, Broly, settle down. He's like, I'm fine. And he settles down. She goes, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to touch you. He goes, it's okay. It's one of the few things that I have that's mine. And she goes, that's okay. No problem. All right. No, you know what? It might be stinky, but it looks nice on you. And she pats it, and he looks up, and he smiles at her, and she smiles back at him. But then we get this one guy that comes over, chat, this big, Mongoloid, because he sees Chile and everything. He goes, hey, girly, why you talking with this brute over here? I'm a man that can entertain you for the next few hours. She goes, get away from me, okay? I told you before, I am not interested. He's like, oh, come on. Let daddy cop a feel. He tries to grab her chest, and Broly goes, that is rude. And he fucking grabs it and breaks his arm. He goes, ah! That is rude. And he snaps at chat, and he just lifts him in the air, and he's just choking the guy. He's just choking the guy. And Pegasus is like, stop. And Broly says, now listen, no, he should apologize for doing something like that. That is disrespectful. And he's going like he's raging out, chat. Chris Hansen, help! And eventually the dad's like, I gotta do it. We learned, Chad, in order to keep Broly under control, he uses this electroshock. Broly has this collar around his neck, and I guess part of it might be embedded in there, and it shocks him. And he freezes up, Chad, and basically his body becomes paralyzed when it happens. And so he shocks and goes, and he drops to the ground and shit, and he can't, move for a little bit, and he's, in pain. Pegasus is like, I've had to use this. He's there have been situations where Broly has gone out of control, and when he loses control, he sees everyone as enemy, including me, and possibly it could be you. But Chile sees this, and she's on the floor with him. She's like, Broly, you okay? You okay? He's like, I'm in pain. I hurt. And she's like, you're a terrible person. You're a terrible person. And she takes Broly, and Pagras, that's the thing. One of Frieza's assistants come in, and Pagras, Frieza would like to speak with you along with Broly. He's like, no, just with you. And he goes, okay, I will be there forthwith. And he goes there, chat. Well, Chile and Little Orange, they take Broly to the barracks, chat. And they just talk with him. And, Broly, this is crazy. And this is like kind of like how his upbringing has been, chat. He's been on that planet his whole life. And they're like, because they're eating, because they bought some rations and things, brought chocolate bars. And Chile's eating it and everything. She's like, do you want chocolate? And Broly's like, I don't know what chocolate is. She said, no, you don't know what chocolate is? Oh, here. And she gives it to him, and he's about to eat it with the wrapper. She goes, no, silly, no, you got to take the wrapper off. And he goes, oh, sorry, not used to this kind of covering. And he eats it, and he goes, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. And he just starts eating all of it. And they go, whoa. He's like, I'm sorry. It's so good. And they go, and then he's like, are you thirsty? Do you want some water? And you hand it to him because he hears something like liquid. He's like, does not work. And they go, yeah, remove the cap. He's like, oh, cap, right. And they remove it for him. And he goes, what is this? And they're like, that's water. And he's like, I don't know what water is. He's never had water. The green guy's name's Lemo. Lemo, Chad, is his new name. Thank you. I always call him the little orange guy. Little orange guy. Lemo. I like Lemo. I like that he's very sarcastic. He's been with the Frieza Force for like 30 plus years, but he's actually a good person. He just flies the ships. That's all he does. And he's been assigned with Chile on their various tasks. I like their relationship. It's cool. I want to see more of them in the future. And Broly's like, I never had water. And you're like, drink it. He goes, okay. And he drinks it and everything. He goes, oh, this is the best thing ever. Does not taste like insect eggs. And they're like, you've just been drinking insect eggs your entire life? And Broly's like, yes. And they're like, dude, oh my God. And, but then Broly starts to open up, and he just basically says, thank you for giving these things to me. It's very kind. And she's like, okay, so on this planet, if you don't mind me asking, were you there the entire time just with your dad? And Broly goes, yes, alone with Dad. And you're like, your dad's an asshole. He's like, you shouldn't say those things about Dad. He loves me. And she's like, I don't think he does. I don't think he does love you at all. No, Dad cares. He just gets angry sometimes at Broly. At Broly. But she's like, have you ever had a friend or a girlfriend? And she's like, girlfriend. She's like, I can do it. No. But she says, have you ever had a friend before? And he goes, yes, once. And he starts petting the pelt of his. She goes, was that your friend? And he goes, yeah. And so here we get a flashback, chat. Remember those giant hentai kitties earlier in the movie? He befriended one of them, chat. They were very aggressive carnivore, but he managed to tame it where it became very affectionate towards him, and he was affectionate towards it. The thing is, Pagras didn't want Broly to have any friends because he always wanted to be mean and aggressive and things. Broly he doesn't want to fight. That's not what he desires in his life. And Pagras tried to kill the beast, chat, but shot its ear off, and it attacked his dad, and so Broly had to stop. He didn't kill it, but it would no longer want to be with Broly anymore, but he kept the ear. It's part of the ear. That's what's around his waist, chat. And it's like, this reminds Broly of Broly's friend. I miss him, even though he hates me now. It's just like, oh my God, this is so sad. He's Little Orange. Super Kami Dende demands it. He'll be known as Little Orange then. And so, and Chile and Little Orange, they're like, holy shit, dude. Oh my God. Like, they feel really sorry for this guy. Eventually, they're heading closer to Earth, chat. We then cut back to Bulma, Vegeta, Goku, and Whis, and they've tracked down two of the Frieza Force members that have found the last Dragon Ball, chat. And they're like, you got to give that to us, guys. But then who fucking arrives at the same goddamn time, chat? Frieza, Pagras, and Broly, and the entire Frieza Force is there, chat. And they're like, shit, here we go. And they're like, oh, Frieza, I should have known you'd be here eventually. And, Frieza, he's collected the Dragon Balls. He has them in his possession. He's like, they're all floating above his hand, which is pretty goddamn cool. He says, oh, yeah, Son Goku and Vegeta, Prince of Nothing. So good to see see you after so long. And Vegeta was angry at Goku because he helped resurrect Frieza in order to fight in a tournament, like from the most recent arc in the series. So there's a lot of friction between them in that way. And it's like, Frieza, why do you want to fight us again? Why are you here on Earth, okay? Haven't you learned to be a better person? You helped save our universe. And Frieza's like, I could care less about this universe. I only care to control it. But also, one thing I care more about is to see both of you destroyed. But I have a new guest I'd like you to meet. A new friend I've managed to make in my travels. And then Pagras presents himself. And Pagras, he sees fucking Vegeta. He goes, Vegeta's my trigger! And he gets very mad. He gets very mad when he sees Vegeta. And he's like, your father did so many horrible things to so many Saiyans and to me and my son. And Vegeta's like, my father did a lot of bad things. What of it? And he's like, fuck you! And he's like, you're going to introduce to my son, Broly. And Broly walks out and they're going, holy shit. Because they could sense his energy. And it's like, whoa, they've never felt someone like this before. And he fucking walks out. And fucking Pagras is like, my lord, may I give the order? And Frieza's like, you may, monkey. And fucking Broly just goes at him, Chad. He's like, but he says, can I get my revenge now, my lord? Can I have him fight Vegeta, Prince Vegeta? And she goes, you may. And he goes, Broly goes right at Vegeta, Chad. Just, and then, I'm not going to review the fight scenes, okay? There's a lot of fucking fight scenes in this movie. I will say this. The ones that are hand-drawn are done very well. They're done very well. My biggest complaints about DBZ, Chad, is that so much of those fights just became ki blasts, Kamehameha, Galagon, all that shit. Solar flare, like all that shit, Chad. And power-ups. Yeah. This one has some of that, but most of it is choreographed fighting. And what they do with the hand-drawn stuff with some CGI assistance is very good. I think the fight between Vegeta and Broly is the best in the movie. And then I'd say the second best is the one between Goku and Broly. I guess Frieza as well. The thing is, though, they use this, and they've done this recently for a lot of the Dragon Ball Super movies, the previous ones, and also for the series, where they have this computer-generated, these CGI versions of the characters that start fighting, and I really don't like that. That really does bother me. 3 power up, 3 episode power, 3 episode power. Exactly, not wrong. This is even my final form. Badger's thinking with the Tempe's, but he was keeping you with Vegeta in his base form. Exactly, he's keeping up with Vegeta in his base form, which is great. Which shows you that Broly probably is the legendary Super Saiyan. That's what he's supposed to be. He's the best of them. And I'll tell you this much, Jeff. Like Goku and Vegeta, they're not the main characters of this film. It is Broly. This is Broly's story. Like, he's a good person. He's not like other Saiyans, chat. He wants to maintain peace, which is a part of the legend of the Super Saiyans. It's like that Saiyan became so disgusted by his people's savage ways that he got this immense power, and he prevented them from causing any more havoc. And I think that's why Broly is being set up as that person. As that true legendary Super Saiyan to bring peace to the universe and defeat evil. So it was never Goku. It was never Vegeta. It was never Gohan. It's Broly, which I think is cool. I don't mind that, because Broly, I'll tell you right now, if I were to do a new lead character for Dragon Ball in the future, it'd be him, since Gohan has been just thoroughly neglected and just trampled upon by Toriyama and Toei. It's like, there's your out with him. I think he'd be a very interesting character to follow in the future. But the first fight with Vegeta is quite good. We get Vegeta, some great just scenes of him transforming into Super Saiyan form, God Super Saiyan form, all that good stuff. It's awesome. Holds his own against, kicks Broly's ass for a good amount of it, Chad, until Broly powers up and weird powers levels and states. It gets confusing, Chad. And then, Frieza's asking, Pagras, I have a question for you. And he goes, yes, Lord Frieza. He goes, why hasn't your son become a Super Saiyan? He's like, a Super Saiyan? He has never achieved something like that. I thought it was only myth. He goes, oh, Pagras, you have missed so many things in this wide galaxy of ours. Oh, yes, there are many Super Saiyans. I would never call them legendary. And he's like, I'm quite disappointed, though, that Broly cannot transform. And while these fights go on, eventually Broly, he moves on to Goku, and he fights him, and he fucking kicks Goku's ass. He kicks Goku's ass for a good part of it. He gets a form where he has the strength of his great ape form, and he gets that power. He's green. Like, his aesthetic, he has like a very green aesthetic, chat, all his power blasts and ki blasts and power-ups. It's pretty cool. I like that. I really like that. His hair is tinted green a little bit, and he's throwing all these guys around and shit. Eventually, though, Vegeta and Goku, they're like, all right, we're not gonna be able to beat this guy at this point. We got to have another plan. But Frieza's like, I'm not going to lose my opportunity for fucking revenge, okay? Also, while this is going on, Chile is very concerned for Broly along with Little Orange. And every time we cut back to Chile, they are always showing her ass. They're showing her ass or showing her butts. It's like, Broly, don't give up. And just like everything's just jiggling and bouncing. And it's like, okay, I get it. They massacred our boy Gohan, King Big Red. Boy, fucking did they. And she's like, we got to do something. So she comes with a plan that I'm going to steal the Dragon Balls and help Broly, because she doesn't want him to die. But, the fight goes on, and Goku, and eventually he had an advantage over Broly, but now Broly became even stronger. He's kicking his ass. But then it goes back to Goku again. And Frieza's like, well, I have to do... He's like, remembering, he's like, how can I get him to turn into a Super Saiyan? And remember, Shep, back to what caused Goku to turn into a Super Saiyan, which is when he fucking exploded Krillin on Namek. And he goes, oh yeah, tragedy. He goes, Pagurus, you've served your purpose. And he fucking laser blasts Pagurus in the face and kills him. And I love this moment, because Frieza's always very serious. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh no, Broly, your father's just been killed by a stray energy blast. I tried to stop it. I promise you I tried, but he died. Oh, the poor, sweet monkey. And Broly just goes, and he fucking turns into a goddamn Super Saiyan shit. My actual favorite part of the movie. It's great. No, Frieza is amazing in this movie. I love all of his scenes in the film. And so thank you for the 10 biddies, Katie. And so he fucking freaks out. And by the way, Piccolo also does space Skype. He goes, sup guys, how you doing? And they go, hey, Piccolo. And he goes, listen, I kind of know that I probably just get in the way. And Goku's like, oh, don't say that about yourself, Piccolo. And while Goku's just fucking being flung around the goddamn battlefield and shit by Broly, and Vegeta's like, I'm just taking a break. I'm taking a break from this guy. I'm just going to sit down. Vegeta's going to have himself a good little sit while Goku's being flown around. And he goes, listen, Goku, there is a possible way to defeat whoever that you're fighting. And he goes, oh, yeah, okay, I'll go get Vegeta. And he grabs Vegeta. And he's like, Vegeta, we got to go see Piccolo. It's like, why do we need to see the Namekian? And he goes, don't worry, we'll show you. And this is great, because they're flying around trying to avoid Bro. They also do a really cool team-up energy blast where Goku does the Kamehame, and Vegeta brings back the Galagun. And they do the same time, which is really awesome. I was like, oh, that's cool. But Broly's able to block it, chat. Fucks him up, but he's able to take it and block most of it. He's like, Vegeta, we gotta go see Piccolo. And he goes, oh, fine, we'll go see the Namekian. But they're leading Broly to a certain place on the battlefield, chat. And what they do is they fucking basically go straight towards Frieza and cut up at the very last minute, because Broly's just in a battle rage, so he's gonna punch anybody he sees at this point. And it's like, all right, bye, Frieza. Here's Broly. He goes, what? No, I'm Lord Frieza, commander of the Frieza Force. Oh no! And Broly just begins fucking beating the shit out of Frieza. It's hilarious. He's like, what are you doing? Oh! He just get his ass kicked. You just throwing around you. Broly's grabbing his tail, just smashing, literally, chat, like the Hulk grabbing Loki and just going boom, 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 boom with Frieza. Absolutely hilarious, chat. And so while Goku does instant transmission, chat, he can instant teleport anywhere in the world or galaxy or universe, and he arrives as Piccolo. And Piccolo is going to teach them the fusion technique, which was established in the Buu arc. I'm not a big fusion guy, but whatever. In where you can basically become one being, chat, by fusing each other. Not like in a gross way like Brundlefly, although there's a possibility for that, chat. But it takes a very goofy dance to do it, where you go, fusion, ho, like that. And Vegeta's like, I'd rather fucking die than fuse with you to Goku or the Namekian. And he's just like, oh, come on, Vegeta, are you really going to let the entire world die just because you don't want to do this dance? He goes, yes, I would. He goes, what about your wife, Bulma? What about Trunks or your newborn baby daughter, Bulma? And Vegeta, I love it. He goes, fine. I love it. He has to think about it, though. He's like, God, all right, fine. I'll do it. He does that. That's what I love that. I love that moment. And so, Piccolo's like, okay, I will teach you the dance. And Piccolo's like, who? And Vegeta's like, oh, Jesus Christ. And he goes, you must do it perfectly. And so they perform at chat the dance, and they go do it. But Vegeta's he fucks it up a little bit. His fingers pointing the wrong way, and they transform into this morbidly obese Super Saiyan. Goes, well, I'm ready to fight Frieza. Where's Broly? Where's Broly? And he's like, Vegeta's like, you fucked up. And apparently, fusion chat only lasts 30 minutes. He's like, okay, you gotta wait another 30 minutes. And meanwhile, we cut back to Frieza, who is just being flung around the battlefield by Broly to get his ass kicked. And he finally turns into his golden Frieza form. You, Broly, you have dared assault my very being. Behold, golden Frieza, the thing that will bring your death. And Broly just grabs his fucking face and just starts smashing him into more rocks. He goes, oh! He's getting his ass kicked, chat. I love it. Dodge, wait, I did it wrong. I meant dance. Thank you, by the way. Thank you to What Happened for the follow. You're my very welcome to stream. I just love how Frieza just gets his comeuppance in this movie. It's so funny. It's so funny. He's screaming the whole time. Eventually, we come back to Vegeta and Goku. They do the fusion. And now they become like this emaciated mummy, like, and Piccolo's like, you fucked up the angling, okay? You were at a 45-degree angle. He was at a 60-degree angle. Again, another half hour. And then we come back to Frieza, who's just like, oh, fuck it. Just kill me already. Just do it. Fucking do it, please. I'm sorry. I called you a monkey. I promise I'll change. Imagine think of the 5 minutes. Frieza's getting worked on for an hour straight. Hour straight is golden. Behold, Golden Frieza, the last bitch you will ever see. I love it. So good, chat. Eventually, they wait another half hour. And they do the fusion, and they become this new person. But the thing is, Piccolo's like, wow, you look pretty cool. You look good. He's like, hell yeah, we do. But we need to figure out a name. And I guess we had Vegito back in the day. For another one that had these. There's a lot of different ways you can fuse shit. These magic earrings to fuse and shit. Because we need a cool name. Piccolo's like, there's no time for names now. He goes, no, we're gonna think of a name. How about Gogeta? And they're like, that's it. And they fucking instant transmission back to the battlefield, where Frieza's just like, I don't care anymore. Just do it. Just fucking do it. And they're like, don't worry, Frieza, we got you. He goes, oh, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. I was just, engaged in a dramatic battle, but I was playing with him. They're like, sure you were. And Gogeta finally is able to match Broly, Chat, and is actually more powerful than Broly. The battle changes where now they're just fighting in different realms of existence, Chat. Their power levels get so powered up. They literally affect the fabric of reality, Chat. The color spectrum. The color spectrum constantly changes, Chat, to red, to green, to blue. They're like, they exist and not exist at the same time. It's like fucking weird. It's fucking weird. What's going on? But Broly is finally being beaten back by Gogeta at this point. While Chile and Little Orange, they're like, well, we gotta save Broly. We have to save him. And so she fucking punches the shit this one guy who's holding the Dragon Balls for Frieza on his ship. And they march them out onto the battlefield, Chat, and hear where the battle's happening. Pointing the gun at her. He's like, okay, summon the dragon. And they summon Shenron. He's like, what's up, everybody? And it's like, oh, you fucks again. It's always you guys. What do you want now? Kelly with the 600 biddies. Ooh, chat. Thank you, Kev. 600 biddies. Welcome to stream. Almost done with my review for Dragon Ball Super Broly. Thank you for your generosity. So, she's like, now, summon the dragon. And Shenron's like, what's up, everybody? I'm Shenron. I will grant you your wish if it's within my means, okay? So don't fucking, fuck this up. You get one. Everybody gets one. And she goes, cool. It's like, what else do we need to do? And he goes, that's all you need to do. You just gotta summon him. She goes, really? He goes, that'll be more complicated than that. And Frieza's seeing this shit. He goes, what the fuck? He's very upset. He's like, no, now I have to wait an entire year. Unless I go back to Namek, in which I'll then get 3 wishes. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. He could have done that, chat. But he's like, I want them classic OG Dragon Balls. And so right when we cut to Gogeta, Broly's kind of, he's like a little fucked up. And now Gogeta's just doing the Kamehameha. He's about to kill Broly. About to kill him. And Broly's like, he's not going to be able to survive this chat. And Chile, with tears in her eyes, says, dragon, great dragon. protect Broly and send him back to the planet where he lived on. And so Shenron's like, your wish is answered, bitch. And he protects Broly, chat, grabs him and sends him back to the planet, chat. And the blast goes right past, goes right into space, and boom, all that shit. And Gogeta's like, shit, oh, he's gone. Okay, cool. I do like in the fight though that Vegeta and Goku recognize that Broly doesn't seem to want to fight at all, that he's being forced to. And Goku actually has a moment in the fight, says, listen, I see what you're doing right now. You don't have to do this, okay? You don't have to do what those people are telling you to do. I know Frieza is. I don't know who your father is, but he doesn't see. I think he's using you, okay? Like, I love that even Goku has a moment where he's actually being a good person, not so selfish. Like, no, I want to battle. Like, even he says it's like, you don't have to do this. We can stop this right now, okay? Even Vegeta's just like, oh, what a waste. What a waste what this truly is. And like all that shit. Even he cares a little bit. When he's transported, Chile and Little Orange, they hijack a Frieza Force's ship, and they get out of there because they're going to go after Broly, chat. She wants to see her man. And Frieza sees, is like, those little sons of bitches. And he's about to blast them out of the goddamn sky. And Gogeta grabs his arm and goes, no, Frieza, you're not going to do that. And he goes, harumph. I hate you, and I'm leaving. He just fucking blasts off, chat. He just fucking blasts off. But I love his last lines. I hate you, and I'm leaving. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. And he goes there, chat. And then we cut to Frieza, who's just, just fucking, it's like, oh, one day I will get those monkeys. And he learns from his assistants that, from Blueberry and the other one, that we've tracked them, and apparently Chile and Little Orange and Broly, they went back to the planet, Vampa. And he goes, I guess they believe they can tame the beast. Well, once they do, I shall arrive and get him for myself. As much as I enjoy fighting Vegeta and Goku, they always seem to outclass me, sadly. But with someone like Broly by my side, I can defeat them once and for all. I just need to bide my time. Like that. Just evil shit. Thank you so much for the 1 biddy. Appreciate you. And so, eventually, we also come to Vegeta and Goku, and are, like, wondering about Broly and what they should do and everything in his life. And it's like, yeah, this is weird. We thought we were all gone, the Saiyans. And we learned that there's one more like us out there. And Vegeta's just like, well, I'm his prince, so he got to do whatever the hell I wanted to do. And Goku's like, I'm going to try something different. We then cut to Vampa chat, where Chile and Little Orange and Broly, they've kind of set up shop. They brought like a ton of food and supplies. But they're concerned they might have enough supplies to last, but Broly's like, I have food, don't worry. And he's like these giant eggs and shit, and they taste and go, ugh. And they go, this is awful. Broly's like, it is, yes. It is, but it is good. It makes you strong, like Broly. And he like flexes his muscles, and Chile's like, oh my God, we're gonna make so many babies. And he's like, what was that? She goes, nothing. Just, you look great. But then, chat, while they're setting up shop, who fucking arrives, chat? Goku. But Chile and Little Orange, they see Goku, and they're like, no, you stay away from Broly, okay? He's a sweet boy, and you're not gonna hurt my man. I'm gonna hurt you so bad, I'm gonna hate you. Goku's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bother you guys. No, I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm not here to fight anybody. No. I actually wanted to be friends, and Broly hears that, friends, and he walks up to Goku, and he goes, listen, I know what we had back there was a little rough. My apologies. I'm speaking for Vegeta. Well, not really speaking for Vegeta, but he's sorry, too, in his own way. I just want to stop by and give you guys a few things. And he opens all this stuff up. It's Capsule Corp stuff. He's like, I thought you might need a little accoutrements to your living, how you're going to live your lives here. And he presses the capsules that throws in the ground. Giant house is built right there. These little capsule houses and things with all these resources and, hydroponics and all this shit. And they're like, whoa. He goes, there's 2 other ones in here as well. And she's like, we're only going to need 2. It's fine. And Orange is like, are we going to bunk? She goes, no, I'm going to be with Broly. And he's like, are we going to have sleepover? And she goes, yeah, whatever you want to call it. And so Goku's, well, I'm going to get going, but Broly, anytime you want to spar, you let me know. And she's like, why do you always want to fight? And he goes, it's just kind of what I've always wanted to do in my entire life. And I've always thought I wanted to get stronger. I never thought I'd fight anyone as powerful, really, as myself or even Vegeta again. But, learning about Broly, he's incredible. I want to be just as strong as he is. And Broly's just like, yes, Broly is strong. And he goes, you are, Broly, you are. He's walking away and shit. And, then Chile's like, well, we're not going to be friends with you, okay? All right, but I guess it'll be fine if you want to sometimes come here, talk to Broly, let him know how you're what Saiyan life is like and such. And, she asks, what should we call you? Because they don't even know his name. And Goku, well, a lot of people call me Son Goku. But you, Broly, he looks at Broly, you can just call me Kakarot, which was a fucking reference, chat, to the fact that every time Broly would hear Kakarot, he would go, Kakarot, you get mad. So that was a little wink to the original incarnation of Broly. But that, my friends, that is Dragon Ball Super Broly, chat. And I will say, I love fun this movie. A lot of the fight scenes are good. I like Broly as a character. I like Chile. I like Little Orange, chat. If Dragon Ball had this consistency level of being this good, I would start watching again. But I was very impressed by this movie. I had a very good time watching this film. Can Broly come out and fight? Yeah, that's what he says pretty much. Broly, you can come, but not fight. Student audience applause. Thick. Thank you, Naya. Thank you. Thank you, Venture of the 10 biddies. Thank you, Darkseid of the 5 biddies. Appreciate it, guys. But no, I like this movie. It's fun. They are working on a sequel. I'm there to see what that would be like. I want to see the growth relationship between Broly and Chile and Little Orange, because I'm like, that to me is the future of Dragon Ball right there. New characters, new relationships. He seems to actually treat her with respect, which I'm like, that's pretty cool. So I want them to be really the new face of the franchise. I think that would be cool, but that's just me. But overall, chat, if I want to give this a rating on the DT scale, I would give this, yeah, I mean, it's hard for new people to watch this. I mean, there's a lot of material. Like, if you haven't watched the previous films or some of the shows, you're going to be lost. But you just want something that's kind of just fun to look at and has some good vocal performances. Yeah, I give this a high matinee, chat. I would give this a high matinee, chat. I would give this a very high matinee. I really, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. 9 is like 4 out of 5 nerds. We'll possibly bring them back. Like, I hope so. I feel like you think Chile would get jealous when Broly meets Cal. Nah, Broly seems like the kind of guy where he's going to stick by his lady. He just seems like that kind of person. I call it high rental as a starter for DB. Yeah, I mean, as a starter, I mean, you're going to be lost, but it must be. I mean, it might just be fun just to check it out. You want to see what Dragon Ball could be at its best? This is a good example of that. You do a good Frieza. Oh, thank you, Arsenic. I do enjoy a good Frieza impression every once in a while. Thank you, man. Decolox, 4 out of 5 monkeys. Oh, how funny. No, I love doing Frieza, Chad. Like, someday, like, I want to do Joker. If I was ever become a voice actor, Chad, dream roles, Joker, Frieza, and George Lucas. I'm going to say 6 out of 7 Dragon Ball. That's fair enough. I like, but there's only 7, right? 6 out of 7. I see what you did there. Elite. Right now, Dragon Ball Super will go into the Galactic Patrol Saga. The new villain will be the Wizard Moro, and he's not to be fucked with. He's working everyone DBZ manga. Well, there you go. DBS manga. Glee, 100 days. Thank you. Good review. Enjoyed it as much as the movie. Thank you, Glee. No, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the review. Hope you enjoyed the review. No, this was a lot of fun talking about this. I knew it would be, especially just bring in my knowledge of Dragon Ball when I used to watch the show. It's like, I do remember more than I thought I did. So it was a good time. Kelly, thank you for the 300 biddies. Oh, that you kind of could know. Please do watch the VOD. It was more of a, it was a very long review too, Chad. Damn, we're 2.5 hours into the stream already. I knew this would be fairly long just because I go into specific detail just about the series too. But no, Kelly, thank you for another 300 biddies. Wow, and 200 following that. No, thank you so much. Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. Buffalo Bill, I can do that. No, seriously, guys, thank you for all the support. Thank you, Kelly, for your incredible generosity. Wow, I owe you a movie poll, chat. You know what? I'm going to just take a quick break. I'm going to come back and do a movie poll and another cartoon poll, chat. So please do stick around, chat. Stick around. Entertain yourselves amongst yourselves. I'll be back.